Mockery in the stars. The silver halls of the Galactic Federation stretched endlessly before Ambassador Maya Chen, their pristine surfaces reflecting the light of 1,000 alien worlds. She straightened her uniform, a simple blue fabric that seemed primitive compared to the shimmering robes and biomechanical suits of the other species. 200 years had passed since humanity first reached the stars, and 50 since their admission to the Federation. Yet every step she took still felt like walking into a room where she didn't belong. The Federation Council chamber buzzed with activity as representatives from 37 civilizations gathered for the quarterly assembly. Maya took her assigned seat at the far edge of the circular arrangement, a position that spoke volumes about humanity's status. The Zephyrians occupied the center, their crystalline forms pulsing with soft light. Around them sat the ancient races, the logical Korthax, the ethereal Veilborn, and the militant Drakons. The human representative arrives, announced Overseer Vexhai, his forearms folding in what Maya had learned was barely concealed amusement. Perhaps today they will surprise us with rational thought instead of emotional outbursts. Soft clicking sounds echoed through the chamber, the universal signal of laughter among the Federation elite. Maya forced her expression to remain neutral, though her heart raced with familiar frustration. She'd endured this treatment for 3 years now, watching as humanity's contributions were dismissed and their concerns ignored. The meeting proceeded with its usual efficiency. Trade routes were discussed, territorial disputes mediated, and resource allocations determined. When Maya finally received permission to speak, she stood with practiced composure. The human mining operations on Titan 7 have exceeded projections by 30%, she reported. However, we request additional safety equipment. The radiation levels— Denied, Overseer Vexhai interrupted, his voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. Humans volunteered for these assignments. Your species' legendary resilience should suffice. Maya's hands clenched behind her back. With respect, Overseer, 17 miners died last month alone. Basic shielding would prevent emotional responses. Cloud judgment, the Korthax ambassador interjected, his mechanical voice devoid of inflection. Statistical analysis indicates human casualty rates remain within acceptable parameters for hazardous operations. The Veilborn representative's telepathic presence touched Maya's mind with condescending gentleness. Young species always struggle with sacrifice. You will learn in time that individual lives matter less than collective progress. Maya bit back her response. The Federation viewed human emotions as a weakness, their empathy as primitive programming yet to be evolved away. They relegated humans to the most dangerous jobs, mining radioactive asteroids, exploring unstable wormholes, and testing experimental technologies. When humans died, the Federation called it acceptable losses. When humans succeeded, they attributed it to luck rather than skill. Back on the human quarters of Station Prime, Maya found her team waiting anxiously. James Rodriguez, her military attaché, paced near the viewport. Dr. Sarah Kim, the science advisor, studied data streams with furrowed brows. Marcus Johnson, their communications specialist, looked up hopefully as Maya entered. "Well?" Marcus asked, though her expression already provided the answer. "Denied again," Maya confirmed, slumping into a chair. "They won't provide safety equipment for the Titan miners. Apparently, our legendary resilience should be enough." James slammed, his fist against the wall. "How many more have to die before they see us as equals?" "They'll never see us as equals," Sarah said quietly, not looking up from her data. "To them, we're useful tools. Expendable labor for jobs their evolved species won't touch." Maya rubbed her temples, fighting off the familiar headache. "Earth, Command wants a full report. They're not happy about the mining casualties." "Let me guess," Marcus said bitterly. The Federation Council laughed it off as human emotionalism. Essentially. Maya stood, gazing out at the stars. "They keep telling us we're too young, too emotional, too primitive. But they're happy enough to use our primitive courage when it suits them." The team worked late into the station's artificial night cycle, compiling reports and analyzing Federation policies. The pattern was clear. Humans received the most dangerous assignments, the least resources, and the smallest voice in decisions. They were cannon fodder wrapped in diplomatic language. 3 days later, an emergency session convened. The Drakens had discovered an unstable quantum anomaly near their border, a potential gateway to unknown space, but surrounded by lethal radiation fields. The Federation needed volunteers to investigate. Given the hazardous nature of this mission, Overseer HFY announced, his gaze settling on Maya, we naturally turn to our human members. Your species has shown remarkable enthusiasm for such endeavors. Maya stood slowly. And what protective measures will be provided for this mission? Standard equipment, the Overseer replied dismissively. The same allocation given to all Federation expeditions. Standard equipment isn't designed for human physiology, Maya protested. Our radiation tolerance differs from... Then perhaps, the Draken ambassador growled, his scales rippling with disdain. Humans should evolve more quickly. Natural selection, as you call it. The chamber filled with that clicking laughter again. Maya felt heat rise in her cheeks, her carefully maintained composure cracking. 3 years of this treatment, decades of human lives sacrificed for Federation goals, centuries of being treated as lesser beings. We accept the mission, Maya said, her voice dangerously quiet. But I want the Council's decision on record. When human lives are lost due to inadequate equipment, the responsibility lies with this body. Emotional blackmail, the Korthax observed. How predictably human. Maya met the mechanical being's glowing eyes. No, simply accountability. Something this council seems to have forgotten. The session ended with Maya's words hanging in the air like a challenge. As she left the chamber, she caught whispers from the other delegates, discussions of human stubbornness, their refusal to accept their place, their inability to transcend their primitive emotional responses. In her quarters that night, Maya stared at the mission parameters. 12 humans would fly into a quantum storm with equipment designed for silicon-based life forms. The radiation would cook them alive within hours unless they completed the mission quickly. The Federation knew this. They simply didn't care. She opened a secure channel to Earth Command. Admiral Patricia Wong's face appeared, weathered by years of similar frustrations. Another suicide mission? The Admiral asked without preamble. The quantum anomaly near Draken space. They want us to investigate with standard equipment. Wong's expression hardened. Casualties? Probable total loss if we follow their parameters. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Wong spoke. Ambassador, I'm transmitting new protocols. Code Black 7. You understand what this means? Maya's breath caught. Code Black 7, humanity's contingency plan. The point where Earth would begin questioning its membership in the Federation. Yes, Admiral, I understand. We've endured their mockery for 50 years, Wong said. We've lost thousands of lives to their indifference. Document everything. If we're going to continue this relationship, changes must be made. After the transmission ended, Maya sat in the darkness of her quarters. Outside her viewport, the stars beckoned. The same stars humanity had dreamed of reaching for millennia. They'd achieved that dream, only to find themselves at the bottom of a galactic hierarchy that valued cold logic over compassion, that saw human emotion as weakness rather than strength. The quantum anomaly mission launched 3 days later. As Maya watched the human vessel depart, equipped with inadequate shielding and obsolete scanners, she felt something shift inside her. The mockery, the dismissal, the casual sacrifice of human lives. It was building to something. The Federation might see emotions as primitive, but they'd forgotten that emotions could drive revolution. The mission succeeded, barely. 8 of the 12 humans survived, though all suffered severe radiation exposure. The data they collected proved invaluable, revealing new physics that excited the Federation scientists. But when Maya requested medical compensation for the survivors, the Council denied it. They knew the risks, Overseer HFY stated simply. That night, Maya sent her final report to Earth Command. The subject line read, "Recommendation for Federation. Withdrawal. Immediate review required." The age of mockery was ending. Humanity had tried to prove themselves worthy of respect through sacrifice and service. Now perhaps it was time to demand that respect through other means. The stars still called to them, but maybe it was time to chart their own course among them. As she sealed the message, Maya didn't know that similar reports were being filed by human ambassadors across the galaxy. The breaking point was approaching. Soon the Federation would learn that human emotions weren't weakness. They were the spark that could ignite revolutions and change the very fabric of galactic civilization. The mockery would end one way or another. The breaking point, the distress signal, pierced through the mining station's communications array like a scream in the darkness. Commander William Chen gripped the console, his knuckles white as he listened to the chaos unfolding on the main mining platform of Alpha Centauri's third moon. "Structural collapse in sections 7 through 15. The panicked voice belonged to Chief Engineer Rosa Martinez. "The Federation surveyors missed a massive fault line. We've got over 300 miners trapped." William's heart raced as he barked orders to his skeleton crew. "Launch all rescue shuttles. Get me a direct line to Federation emergency response." On the screen, the brilliant blue marble of Alpha Centauri III spun peacefully below them, a stark contrast to the disaster unfolding on its moon. The mining complex, a sprawling network of tunnels and processing facilities, was humanity's largest off-world operation. Now a quarter of it lay in ruins. "Federation emergency response acknowledging," the communications officer reported. "Patching through now." The holographic image materialized, a Corthax official, designation REK7, its mechanical features, betraying no emotion. "State your emergency, human facility." "Massive structural collapse," William reported. 300+ miners trapped. "We need immediate assistance. Heavy rescue equipment, medical frigates, anything you can send." Rec 7's optical sensors whirred as it processed the data. "Analyzing. The failure appears to stem from human error in following Federation survey guidelines." William felt his blood pressure spike. "The surveys were flawed. The fault line wasn't marked on any of the geological data you provided." "Irrelevant. Human mining protocols should have included independent verification. Request for emergency assistance denied. Utilize your existing resources." The connection terminated with cold finality. William stared at the blank screen, disbelief morphing into rage. 300 human lives hung in the balance, and the Federation's response was to blame the victims. "Sir," the communications officer's voice trembled. "Earth Command is requesting direct contact." What followed was 17 hours of desperate rescue efforts. Human shuttles not designed for heavy rescue operations struggled to clear debris. Mining mechs, repurposed as emergency equipment, fought against time as oxygen depleted in the collapsed sections. William coordinated with Earth Command while simultaneously begging neighboring Federation worlds for assistance. The Veilborn ambassador responded with philosophical detachment. "Death is merely transition. Your species' attachment to individual preservation limits your cosmic understanding." The Drakens were more direct. "Human facilities, human problems. We have no resources to spare for your incompetence." Even the generally peaceful Altarians, known for their medical expertise, refused. "The Federation Council has not authorized intervention. We cannot act independently." By hour 18, they'd rescued 97 miners, 228. Remained trapped as oxygen readings reached critical levels. That's when the Federation Council finally responded to Earth's formal emergency petition. Maya Chen stood in the emergency session, her diplomatic composure cracking as Overseer Vex High delivered the Council's decision. After careful deliberation, the Council finds no obligation to expend Federation resources on this incident. The mining operation was a human venture, accepted with full knowledge of inherent risks. "Children are dying in those tunnels," Maya's voice echoed through the chamber. "Families who came to the stars believing in the Federation's promise of mutual support. Emotional arguments are not relevant to policy decisions," the Corthax ambassador stated. The statistical loss represents 0.0003% of human population. Mathematically insignificant. Maya felt something snap inside her. Years of diplomatic training evaporated. Insignificant? Every one of those statistics has a name. Maria Santos, age 32, 3 children. David Kim, 25, working to support his sick mother. Jennifer, order, Vex High's voice boomed. The human representative will maintain proper decorum or be removed. But Maya was beyond caring. She pulled up her personal communicator, projecting images into the chamber. Photos of the trapped miners, their families, their children. Look at them. These are the people you're condemning to death. The chamber erupted in disapproving clicks and whistles. The Zephyrian delegate's crystalline form flickered with indignation. This display is highly inappropriate. Humans continue to demonstrate why they remain a junior species. Maya laughed, but there was no humor in it. Junior species? We've died for this federation for 50 years. Our blood built half your infrastructure. Our courage explored territories you were too evolved to risk. And this is our reward? Abandonment. In our hour of need. Security drones moved toward her, but Maya wasn't finished. I'm transmitting this session to Earth. Let our people see how the mighty Federation values human life. The feed went live before they could stop her. Across Earth and its colonies, billions watched their ambassador being forcibly removed from the council chambers, while hundreds of their fellow humans slowly suffocated in the dark tunnels of Alpha Centauri 3A. The final death toll was 243. Earth mourned. And then Earth raged. Protests erupted in every major city. New Geneva, headquarters of the United Earth government, saw millions gather in the streets. The carefully cultivated image of the benevolent Federation crumbled as humanity finally saw the truth. They were nothing more than expendable labor to their galactic neighbors. President Elena Rodriguez addressed the planet from the steps of the Global Assembly. Her voice, broadcast to every human settlement from Mars to the frontier colonies, carried the weight of collective grief and fury. For 2 centuries we dreamed of the stars. For 50 years we've served a federation that sees us as tools rather than partners. Our people have died in their wars, built their stations, mined their resources. In return, we've received mockery, condescension, and now, abandonment. She paused, her eyes scanning the crowd, the cameras, the future itself. Today, I announce humanity's immediate withdrawal from the Galactic Federation. We will forge our own path among the stars. We will protect our own, and we will never again beg for respect from those who see our compassion as weakness. The Federation's response was swift and dismissive. Overseer Vex High appeared on all communication channels, his forearms spread in what passed for a shrug among his species. The humans overreact as expected. Their emotional instability proves our assessment correct. The Federation will continue without them. Their departure is inconsequential. But it wasn't inconsequential. Within hours, human-operated facilities across Federation space began systematic shutdowns. Mining operations ceased, maintenance crews departed, exploration missions returned to Earth space. The Federation had grown so accustomed to human labor that they'd never calculated the impact of its sudden absence. Ambassador Maya Chen, recalled to Earth, gave her final statement from the departing diplomatic vessel. You mocked our emotions, but those emotions drive us to protect each other. You called us primitive, but we're advanced enough to recognize when we're being used. You labeled us expendable, but we've decided our lives have value, even if you can't see it. The breaking point had arrived, not with a bang, but with empty mining stations, vacant maintenance posts, and silent exploration vessels. The Federation, for all its advanced civilization, had made a fundamental error. They'd pushed humanity too far, mistaking patience for weakness, service for servitude. In the weeks that followed, Earth unified as never before. Ancient divisions of nation and culture seemed trivial compared to the shared indignity they'd suffered. Secret projects, long dismissed as impossible by Federation science, received unlimited funding. If humanity was alone in the cosmos, They would ensure they were never again defenseless. The Federation Council convened emergency sessions as critical systems began failing without human maintenance. The Drakens discovered their frontier defense. Stations manned primarily by human crews sat empty. The Korthax found their deep space mining operations grinding to a halt. Even the aloof Veilborn noticed the absence of human explorers mapping the dangerous regions of space. But it was too late. The damage was done. Trust, once shattered, couldn't be repaired with simple policy reversals or diplomatic overtures. In R, a secure facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Earth's leading scientists worked feverishly on Project Prometheus. Dr. James Park, former Federation technology advisor, led a team that included the best minds humanity had to offer. They thought our emotions made us weak, he told his team. Let's show them those same emotions can drive innovation they can't imagine. The seeds of revolution had been planted in the fertile soil of righteous anger. Humanity had tried integration, tried cooperation, tried patience. The Federation's mockery had finally pushed them to their breaking point. Now, isolated but united, humanity would prepare for whatever came next. The stars still called to them, but now they would answer on their own terms. The age of servitude was over. The age of human determination had begun.